My name is Giulia Maci. I'm leading the Cities for Women program at Cities Alliance, and our program really focuses on making cities more inclusive towards women's need and capacity to engage more women in the city-making process. We believe that a city that is more responsive to women's need and capacity is a city that works for everyone, is better for everyone. This session will do a very short session looking at the implication of gender in climate adaptation action. Climate change affects women and men differently. Extreme weather events such as droughts and floods have a greater impact on the poor and most vulnerable. We're in fact talking about feminization of poverty as we define climate adaptation responses and projects in cities. We first need to understand the underlying drivers of inequity and how they make specific groups of women, men, and poor more vulnerable to climate change. These drivers of inequity are three. The first one is gender responsibilities and roles. Women, in fact, are often responsible for gathering and producing food, collecting water, and sourcing fuel for eating and cooking. With climate change, these tasks are becoming more difficult, limiting also opportunities for education and income generation and increasing exposure to violence, including also sexual violence. Care work, due to health impact of climate change, may also increase, putting additional burden on those who are mainly responsible for that, which are, again, women. Globally, also women produce 60% of the food, but are more likely than men to report food insecurity. As a coping strategy in the face of food scarcity, again related to climate change, women are more likely than men to reduce the amount they eat. So this is related to gender, responsibility, and roles. The second driver of inequity is health. Climate change produces conditions that propel the spread of malaria, especially flooding and high temperature. Growing evidence and data indicates that malaria has specific gender effects, which are felt mostly by poor and marginalized people. Prevalent gender inequalities also tend to get exacerbated in the wake of disasters. For example, women and girls become more vulnerable to gender-based violence, and this is the case also with the COVID-19. Domestic violence is increasing. The third driver of inequity is related to rights. So women's access to productive agricultural resources and services, for instance, is not equal to men's access. This reduces women's adaptive capacity, especially during critical climate change events. The right of women to own property, which is often denied by law or also in the current practice, is also an important requirement for post-hazard reconstruction of human settlements, owning land, owning properties, housing. Ownership or occupancy rights precludes eviction and enhance security. And in the post-hazard reconstruction phase, rebuilding as storm resistance and gender-sensitive structures is key to create resilient cities. In Nepal right now, with UNOPS, we are leading a participatory process to collect ideas from women for the post-earthquake reconstruction in Kathmandu. So really trying to collect what do they need, how do they see their cities, and how they want to see the city of the future. Adaptation measures and responses needs to take into account these drivers of inequality, which are gendered roles and responsibilities, rights, and health, which in themselves make adaptation less effective. So every project and actions need to challenge, for instance, gender norms, responsibilities, and roles. Looking at health access, so trying to put the most marginalized at the center of these responses. Looking at rights, how laws are defined and how the laws are put in practice. Access to land is key. There are examples of initiatives that also we are conducting at the moment together with our partners and members that try to apply an equity lens to enable women, youth, and ethnic groups to lead efforts also to adapt to climate change. For example, in Liberia, we have gathered women's ideas and needs through dedicated participatory process related to the formulation of the city development strategies. We engage women from different groups and to got their priorities, needs, and we include them into the formulation of the plan. Then we are also starting now a process of construction of water kiosks in 2 informal communities, and we are again engaging women's group in the co-design process, in the construction, and later on they will be really in charge of the maintenance and management of the water kiosk. So gender is a key component of these initiatives, empowering women to take on leading roles in water committees as their time is no longer burdened by water gathering. But just I wanted to underline what are the 3 elements that for me are key to take into consideration when we are going to develop projects related to community, gender, and climate adaptation. So resilience requires data. Gender statistics and sex disaggregated data also provide evidence necessary to assess gender gaps across all areas of urban life, including also linkages between these areas, which form the basis of gender inequalities. Limitations in available data still exist with a lack of qualitative data. Questioning quantitative data from a gender perspective with the use of perceptions of qualitative data helps to interpret better the statistics. Cities Alliance has developed recently and tested already a toolkit that combine numbers and quantitative data with perception, story, qualitative responses to understand women's engagement in city development, looking at space, politics, culture, and economy. And I invite you to have a look to this toolkit because there are different methods and approaches you can also use in your projects. So data are important, sex disaggregated data, qualitative data are important. The second aspect is really the participatory approach, design and implement action with women, really engaging them, giving them a voice. So it's important to recognize the contributions of women as decision makers, stakeholders, educators, experts across different sectors in the city. They can lead their participation to successful long-term solutions to climate change. Women have proven to be leading the way towards more sustainable solutions to climate change across sector, women's innovations, expertise, also community leadership. They are really engaged in their community. We could see that also during the COVID situation, to be able to reach out the poor, the community. We needed to go through and engage women because they knew better what were the needs. There are still patriarchal norms, gender stereotypes, as I said, gender roles that limit women's capacity to act. So we really need, through our project, to empower women in this sense, give them the possibility to really have a say. The third is connecting action on the ground with advocacy. So everything that you do, trying to use the stories also of your project, the results, to change policy making at the city level, at your neighborhood level, or if it's possible, national level, globally. And we need to establish dialogues with institutions and key stakeholders to show how gender equality matters in climate change actions in cities. The important thing when we start a project, when we start an action, is to ask to ourselves who matters, who decides, and who benefits. And of course, the right answer to all these questions is, of course, everyone. So everyone matters when it comes to managing the impacts of climate change, and particularly those who are least able to adapt. Thank you.